My name is Silke Von Dijk. I'm in charge of industrial coatings and hydrogels. Next slide. All right, so a little bit about industrial applications for our three main lines of anti-fog and anti-frost coatings. Luxier is an anti-fog coating. It doesn't have anything special to it other than it's an anti-fog coating that has some durability. Brilliance is our anti-fog and condensation control coatings that have a UV stabilizer that prevents any yellowing of the coating when it's in contact with sunlight and UV rays. And our glacial product line is our anti-fog and condensation control coatings that are anti-frost. So these are great for freezers and freezer doors and computers that have to go into freezing conditions and come back out
and now
into room temperature
Robbie, I apologize to
conditions.
everyone. We did not start recording
our coatings
in the beginning of the webinar, so I went back and voice recorded what was missed
so long,
and kind of pieced together the videos, but we are going to now continue the science behind hydrophilic,
such as face masks and face shields, and then also for the masks that go over the mouth and nose. We also have coatings, obviously, as I explained, that are great for UV stabilizers that have applications in greenhouses and drones and aerospace visors, runway reflectors, and so on and so forth. So we're all over the map with it when it comes to military, aerospace, automotive, optical sensors and cameras, and we just are really working on making sure that our coatings work well in all of those industries. Next slide. Okay, so the difference between all of these products, anti-fog coatings and anti-frost coatings, they are really good for sheeting and wicking water away and keeping things optically clear. That's really important, obviously, as you can see in the picture, for greenhouses, but it's also good for masks and goggles and swim goggles and things like that. So having something that is fog-free is very important for optical clarity. Our formulations come in solvent-based, but we're also environmentally friendly with water-based and even NMP-free coatings. These coatings have better substrate adhesion to various substrates, which we'll get into later. We do have thermal cure as our main way of providing anti-fog and anti-frost coatings, but we do have UV cure coatings as well. These are all water washable, so you can use anything with anything that is water and soap, even like a Dove dish soap or something like that. Also, you can use Windex. That's about as far as we'll go with the cleaning on the surfaces once they're coated. Obviously, we have primer and primer-free versions. Usually our primer-free versions do adhere extremely well, and we do have initiators that actually help with that on specific substrates that are problematic. They easily fit within new and existing coating processes. We work with you. We are a full service company, so that's really important for us to not only be able to coat your products and succeed in what you need mechanically, but we want to be able to make sure that we fit within your time frames, cure temperatures, and so on and so forth. So we really do work with you. Next slide. This is a very fun product line. It's very new and it's very interesting, and I'm very pleased to introduce it in the last couple of months and have had some great feedback. This is a product that it's a temporary anti-fog coating that comes into about an 8-ounce spray bottle, and it's for, as you can see on the video, for face masks that go over the nose, mouth, It's very safe. This is a green technology, which means it's very safe for those mucosal areas that, you know, are going to be coming in contact with. It has a pleasant odor. There's no harsh chemicals in it. That's why it's safe. We have natural chemicals in it. It provides an excellent anti-fog for room temperature and going into cold temperatures. It has a biocide in it that's very natural and safe. So again, yes, it's safe. So you can actually have this over your mouth and nose. The biocide actually and the anti-fog actually lasts for up to 8 to 10 hours upon application. It's very easy to apply. You just spray and use a lint-free cloth and wipe it around the whole surface. Give it a minute, minute and a half to dry, and you can put it on, and you're actually going to have a fog-free mask, and it has a biocide, so you know you're completely protected. And it's easy to wash off. So when you're done using it, you can wash it off with soap and water. It leaves no residue whatsoever, which is different than what's currently out in the market that are more chemical or harsh chemical sprays. They usually require extra scrubbing and maybe even like an IPA to actually get it off, where ours just comes off with soap and water, no scrubbing, so you're not going to be marring the substrate and causing these scratch marks that will cause you to actually end up throwing it away. So you can reapply it the next morning, and again, there you go. We accept private label and bulk selling opportunities. You can have this bundled with your existing PPE line. So it's a really wonderful new coating, and it is very safe and it works perfectly. Next slide. So we're pleased that we're very up to date with our test methods when it comes to our industrial coatings. We make sure that everything that goes out for our customers is attested appropriately, and the customer gets exactly what they get. So we have abrasion testing. All of these are ASTM. There's a sand drop method. There's a taper abrader method, which obviously transmittance is used afterwards in order to quantify the results, especially for the taper abrasion. That's used with the hazeometer, which shows the hazing of the coating, if there is any. We have the EN168, which is resistance to fogging, so it's also kind of like a ha-ha test. So I know that sounds a little weird, but if you were to put maybe a coated anti-fog product to your mouth and you just breathe out ha-ha, that warm air from your mouth will actually show if the fog is working, anti-fog is working or not. So if it fogs up, it's not working. If it doesn't fog up and it stays clear, obviously it's working. We have adhesion testing, which is the MAR resistance, the tape test, which is a crosshatch. We have pencil hardness testing, surface tension, which is obvious for anything that needs optical clarity, like goggles and masks, and of course camera lenses and anything like that. So we need to make sure that we test our contact angle and that it's a specific contact angle that actually promotes clarity. What we have that is completely new to us, well, not new to us, we've had it for several years, but we designed it. It's called a steam cycler, and this tests condensation control, which is very important to show if any coating is wicking away any of the steam instead of causing water droplets. This is important, especially for greenhouses. If water droplets form, it can cause issues with what's going on in the greenhouses. So you want the condensation to actually wick away and go down to the sides of the greenhouse and not affect any of the plants that are growing in there. Next slide. Yeah, our data is backed by, you know, proof. So here is just a perfect example of actually what I explained to you, which is showing on a piece of glass, 3 different pieces of glass, a competitor coating, an uncoated piece of glass, and then of course one of our condensation control coatings on glass. And you can see this is going on the steam cycler for about 3 minutes for 35 seconds. Now, what's important also in this is that not only does the steam cycler promote condensation to show that the coating is optically clear and wicking away, but then the steam cycler turns off and allows dry heat to come in and actually dry up the coating. And what's really important is that it comes back around and does the same exact thing again. So if the coating comes back to steam and it shows this optical clarity and wicking away, you now know that you start having a coating that has durability for condensation control. So there's a two-part thing with this steam cycler. Not only does it show that the coating works for condensation control, but not once but twice, but it goes on for weeks. So we can actually torture the coating and prove durability for a good length of time. And that basically sums up this slide. Next slide. Okay, so now I'm going to start talking about hydrogels, which in my book, I find this